Wise Eyes of DuBois and St. Mary's are premier eye care facilities here in our Tri-County area. Their offices and eye care team are dedicated to providing excellence in patient care, eye education, and optical services. Dr. Greg Lineski is a leader in clinical eye care involving eye and vision disorders. Dr. Lineski takes the time to explain the results of your eye exam, describes your options, and listens to your eye care needs, because maintaining good eye health is an ongoing partnership at Wise Eyes of DuBois and St. Mary's.
Moe's Bar and Grill in Port Allegany. One of our customers called our offerings the best gourmet bar food you'll ever have. That pretty much sums us up. Stop in and see us at 68 West Mill Street, Port Allegany, or give us a call at 814-642-7999. That's 814-642-7999. Moe's Bar and Grill. Are you suffering from back pain, headaches, sciatica? Did you know that a healthy nervous system leads to a healthy body? Find out more from Dr. Andrew Young at Port Allegany Chiropractic and Olean Family Chiropractic. A District 9 lifer, born and raised in Clearfield and now calling Port Allegany home, Dr. Young has over 20 years of experience. And Port Allegany Chiropractic and Olean Family Chiropractic have a mission to provide their patients the best results in the shortest time, whatever their health goals are. Find out more at PortAlleganyChiropractic.com and OleanChiropractic.com. Chiropractic care and good health go hand in hand. The Bruno Iafrito Wrestling Camp, the best wrestling camp you've never heard of. The 2023 camp will be the 20th year for the Bruno Iafrito Wrestling Camp, and we'll have a star-studded lineup of clinicians. The camp will once again be held in Port Allegany, Pennsylvania from June 19th through the 23rd, 2023. Check us out online at teambruno.com and like us on Facebook. Hope to see you there at the Bruno Iafrito Wrestling Camp in Port Allegany, PA.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and you're looking live at DuBois Central Catholic High School Gymnasium. It is a playoff edition of Allegany Grill of Foxburg High School basketball on the YDL Sports Network, D9 and 10 Sports.com. The Allegany Grill in Foxburg now serving Sunday buffets, including breakfast, brunch, and dinner. Chris Rossetti here alongside Jess Quinn. We're inside the Freedom Investment Management pregame show as the fifth-seeded Port Allegany Gators take on the fourth-seeded DuBois Central Catholic Cardinals in a District 9 Class 1A girls quarterfinal game.
I tell you what, Chris, I'm really looking forward to this. I haven't seen Port Allegany this year, but we saw them in a playoff game 2 years ago with Bree Garzell, and boy, she was one heck of a player. They had a great team, made a nice little run there. But I'm really excited because I like the fact, Chris, that the committee looked at the schedule that Coach Hoover had come up against this year, and they really played a lot of good teams, big teams, great programs, because you're looking at DCC is 12 and 11, but of those 11, Chris, you and I talked about on the way over, how many of them were losses to schools that were 2, 3, 4 times their size.
Well, the thing that's striking is this is only the 7th game out of 24 that the DCC Lady Cardinals are going to be playing against a single-A team.
Right.
That's really amazing. Port Allegany, on the other hand, had it just as a legitimate of a claim. 19-3, their losses twice to Otto Eldred, the top seed, who plays Northern Potter tonight at 7:30 at home, and the other one to Portville, New York, a really, really good team up in lower New York there in the upstate area on the western side.
Right. I would really, to be honest, when you're looking at that, you look at the programs that they play, the teams that they play, and you're right. Port Allegany has 3 losses on the season, and 2 of them are to a really good Otto Elder team that we've seen, and then that one up in New York. So I think we're in for a really, really good game tonight, Chris.
Yeah, we are inside the Freedom Investment Management pregame show. For all your financial needs, go to freedomwealthcoach.com. This is the Rehab Center broadcast with chiropractors caring for health, therehabcenters.com. Game stream is always brought to you by the Computer Guru, Bleeper, thecomputerguru.net. Our drive to the game was brought to you by the Warren Tire Center, warrentirecenter.com. And Jess, the clock has 2:49, but we've got about 9 minutes before opening tip. They're going to go through all kinds of pregame stuff here. And we're going to step aside here. We're going to thank a couple more of our sponsors. When we come back, we'll break down Jess's keys to the game. You're watching high school basketball on the YDL Sports Network.
Award-winning wings, cold beer, burgers. What else could you want? Just head on over to the Super Sub and Six Pack in DuBois for the best wings in the DuBois region, as well as the greatest selection of cold beer and much more. Located just off the Beeline on McCracken Run Road. Good food, cold beer, ready to go. Super Sub and Six Pack in DuBois. Go online at supersixpack.com. That's P-A-K at the end. Super Sub and Six Pack in DuBois. Charlie's Pub in DuBois is your place for handcrafted steak burgers and dogs, specialty sandwiches, hoagies, hand-tossed pizza, and of course their wings. Make sure to try their famous Uncle Bobo's wing sauce. 40 years in the making, this sauce is the boss. Find out more at charliespubdubois.com. Charlie's Pub, located at 119 North Main Street in DuBois. Great food, great drinks, great time. Spring is here, and that means grilling season. Mike's Bilo in Reynoldsville has all your grilling needs covered with chicken, steak, pork chops, and more. You can check out all of Mike's Bilo's weekly specials from the comfort of your home at mikesbilo.com, where you will also find online coupons and recipes. Visit Mike's Bilo on South 5th Street in Reynoldsville today. Mike's Bilo's Foods, your friendly hometown supermarket. Flatbreads, strombolis, Italian specials, pizzas, salads, and hoagies are just some of the delicious items you'll find at Glasstown Pizzeria on 5th Avenue and Brockway. Open 7 days a week until 9, Glasstown Pizzeria is where friendly people come to eat excellent food made by great people at an affordable price. Check out the menu at glasstownpizzapa.com or call today to place an order at 814-265-0020. Glasstown Pizza, a slice of the good life.
Back here at DuBois High School, Chris Rossetti alongside Jess Quinn getting ready for this game between the DuBois Central Catholic Cardinals and the Port Allegany Gators.
Okay, Chris, I'm looking at Port Allegany. One of the keys of the game that I think that is important for them, and I think we're going to start with the national anthem, Chris.
Doing the prayer right now here. Actually, it's the, now here's the prayer.
Strongly thankful God, as we come together for this contest, we ask you to bless these athletes, keep them safe from injury and harm, instill in them respect for each other, and reward them in your perseverance. Lead us all to reward with your kingdom, and be live and reign forever and ever. Amen.
As I was saying, Chris, I'm looking at Port Allegany. They want to stay balanced on offense. They want to stay with their tough man-to-man defense that they've played all year. They can switch it up, have the ability to go zone, but they want to keep DCC off the glass, because what DCC wants to do, Chris, is they want to run. They want to get that defensive rebound. They want to outlet and go. As we're getting ready for the starting lineups, that was Evan Stauffer and Leon Nelson. Number 10, Ella Moses. and number 22. I'm sorry, number 23.
Kaylee
Dowell,
Dow.
and 24, which was Bryn Evans.
Yep. So that's Stauffer, Nelson, Moses, Dow, and Evans for Port Allegany. I'll let Jess take over the DCC.
Okay, for DCC, we have Marina Haynes. And then we have number 2, Lexi Berta. And Jesse Frank, number 23. Then we have at number 12, Kaylee Rizzer. And number 21, we have Faith Jacob, Chris, and that rounds it out. So you have Berta, Haynes, Rizzer, Jacob, and Frank.
Yep, and getting ready here for the opening tip.
And Chris, getting back to what?
Hold on.
Oh, okay. Okay, getting back to what, I was talking about with DCC, they really want to dominate on the glass. They have a little bit of an advantage inside. So they want to rebound, push the pace, rebound and go, get the outlet, get Kaylee Rizzer involved early in the offense, and try to put this team away. But I tell you what, this Port Allegany team is very, very athletic. They are very, very fast. This is going to be a great game, Chris.
Yep, is getting ready here for opening tip. And we're underway.
Port Allegany winning that tip, Chris, right away. DCC's in a tight man-to-man offense or man-to-man defense. I really like the way that they play defense away from the ball. They're down in the paint. 2 passes away.
And now we're going to get a foul right out of the gate here and a 2-shot situation for Ella Moses. They're going to get Jesse Frank on that call. That is a Team Bruno wrestling camp foul. The best dang wrestling camp nobody's ever heard of. We'll send Moses to the Tennessee Butterfly free throw line to shoot 2. She misses the first one. She'll get a second one, though, here. Second shot is up. Second shot also no good. Rebounded by Jacob. Here's Jesse Frank to Faith Jacobs out of Marina Haynes. Haynes gives it off to Frank. Now back to Jacobs. Ball's kind of on the ground, but Haynes has it for DCC. Jacobs goes inside to Rizzer. Rizzer lays it up and in.
I tell you what, Chris, what a great entry pass that time.
With the basketball is Evans. She gives it off to Moses. Moses in the paint, kicks it off to Stauffer. The senior drives. The senior lays it up and in.
And right away, both teams are looking to press. DCC breaks that press pretty easy.
Haynes has to track it down, finds Jacobs, tries to give it to Rizzer. Moses on the ground, but Rizzer ends up with the basketball. Now it's on the ground again, still fighting for it, and now we're going to get a Pizza Hut possession arrow in favor of DCC. Nobody out Pizzas the Hut, pizzahut.com.
And that's what I'm talking about, Chris. Right now, the Gators, the Lady Gators, they are playing a very, very tight man-to-man defense. They are quick even off the ball, Chris.
Quickly inbounds to Haynes. Haynes around everybody. Haynes, little floater. Will fall.
DCC in the half-court trap here. 1-2-2 half-court trap.
Here's Moses. Moses dishes off to Evans. Evans hands it to Nelson. Now back to Moses. Moses kicks it out with the basketball with Stauffer. Has it knocked loose, and we're going to get another Pizza Hut possession arrow situation. This time it goes to the Port Allegany Lady Gators.
And right away, Chris, it looks like DCC is playing a very, very solid half-court defense. And
that ball gets in there to Nelson. She misses it. Now we've got a whistle, and they're going to say it went out of bounds to DCC. Want to remind people today's game being brought to you by Burford and Henry Real Estate. Burford and Henry, buying, selling, or renting a house. BurfordandHenry.com. Other way quickly is Frank. She misses it, but on the rebound there was Faith Jacobs, and Jacob will go to the line to shoot a pair. Foul was on Evan Stauffer. That's a Team Bruno wrestling camp. Foul on the Lady Gators. First shot from the Tennessee Builder Supply free throw line by Jacob. No good.
Both ladies, I think, maybe having a little bit of nerves, Chris, coming from the free throw line or pushing the pace. Both teams are pressing.
Second shot up for Jacob. Second shot is perfect. It's a 5-2 early lead for DCC. Moses will get it right to the timeline where she'll dish it off to Stauffer. Stauffer all the way through. Stauffer, wild shot. No good. Rebound fought for. Jacob has. Oh, no, they didn't call that a jump ball. Yes, they did.
Yes, they did, Chris. I thought Jacob had it all the way, but that's what I talked about earlier, Chris, in the pregame. Right now DCC has an advantage rebounding. That got tied up pretty. That was a quick whistle.
Yeah, on the pizza possession arrow, it is DCC basketball. So all they really lost was the arrow. But yeah, that was pretty quick.
It was a quick.
That was quick, but we're not down there. We didn't have the angle he had. He might have seen something we didn't see, Jazz.
I don't know. The angles are really to blame for that one, Chris. It was the time that they had the ball, and I tell you what, Jake, when she had the ball, I thought she ripped it. I thought she did a nice job. I just think it was a quick whistle.
It happens. Berta across the timeline gives it to Jacob. She'll flip it to Haynes, down to the corner to Frank. Frank, three-pointer in the air. No good. That Mike Bilo's three was just off the mark. Rebounded by Nelson. She'll hand it to Stauffer, who will quickly go across the timeline. Stauffer gives it to Moses. Moses thought about the three, instead drives, loses the basketball into the hands of Evans. Now the ball is on the ground, and Haynes picks it up, and Haynes gives it to Berta. DCC runs. Berta lays it up, no good, but she's fouled, and she will go to the Tennessee Builder Supply free throw line to shoot a pair on foul number 3, Team Bruno wrestling camp foul. You might be able to get away with some of those moves in wrestling. You don't get away with them on the basketball.
Not on the hardwood, Chris.
First shot up, no good. So now checking in is Emma Alinsky for DCC. Checking out is Jesse Frank. Second shot coming here from the Tennessee Builder Supply free throw line by Berta. This time she hits it. And now checking in for the Lady Cardinals will be Hope Jacob as Berta checks out. So both sisters, Hope and Faith, out on the court for DCC. With the basketball is Dow, leading scorer for these Gators. Hands it off to Moses. Moses flips it to Evans. Evans goes back to Dow. Dow now hands it to Nelson. Nelson drives. Nelson layup, no good. Rebounded strongly there by Stauffer, and then ripped away by Hope Jacob. And then she's double teamed immediately, and she's going to get fouled, to the chagrin of the Port Allegany fans.
And if that is ever, that's on number 23.
That's on Dow. That'll be her first Team Bruno wrestling camp foul.
And I tell you what, Chris, they've done a really, really nice job of pressuring the basketball when DCC gets a rebound. They're not letting them get out and run.
With the basketball is Rizzer. Rizzer drives. Oh, she has her shot rejected there by Kaylia Dow.
And then she comes up with a steal, Chris.
Oh, there's a whistle, though, and they're going to...
Oh, she was on the line.
They're going to say she was on the line.
Yep.
Now checking back in is Berta, and Hope Jacob will check out. So nice defense there by the Lady Gators. So Stauffer looking to get it up court. She does to Moses. Moses in the lane. Moses drive. Alinsky's going to get called for that one. And that's going to send Moses to the Tennessee Builder Supply free throw line to shoot a pair. Team Bruno foul number 1 on Ella Alinsky. The Bruno Afrita Wrestling Camp, the best wrestling camp you've never heard of. Now in its 20th year, it'll be held June 19th through the 23rd in Port Allegany. Check them out online at teambruno.com. Like them on Facebook. As Moses drills that one, she'll get a second one. Second shot is up. Second shot rattles home.
And again, they're right in their man-to-man defense.
And there's Dow with the steal off the pass by Jacob. Now we're going to get a charge on Kaylia Dow, and that's big because that's number 2 on her. Wait, they're calling that actually on Stauffer.
Stauffer.
That's her second.
It is her second.
So they called it on Stauffer. A little confused, Jess. I thought 23 had the basketball.
I thought 23 had the basketball too. But they called it on number 2.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that Port realizes it because they put Dow on the bench. Now going all the way there with Stauffer, and now we've got a whistle, and now we're going to call a walk.
Well, I think they're a little bit confused right here. Port Allegany's taking the time out here. They want to get that right, Chris.
I think we want to have a clarification on who that last foul was on. They called it on Stauffer, but it should have been on Dow. But I don't know. Like, do you lose your point guard or do you lose your leading scorer, Jess?
Well, I don't know.
Going to have a discussion here. It's under an associate's attorneys at law discussion. The foul was on 23 and not on 2. So that'll be the second one on Dow, who's already on the bench. Stauffer only has 1.
Right, but you're right, Chris. They did come over and say that it was on number 2. It was on Stauffer, but it was not.
Haynes gives it off. Now inside to Rizzer. Rizzer shot no good. Rebounded strongly there by Jacob. She loses it, and it's taken away there by Moses. She gives it to Nelson. Nelson across the timeline. Nelson gives it to Moses. Here's a shot by Madison Eric, and it's good. Eric in to replace of Dow, and now taking it away, and on the ground it's Evans. Stauffer or Eric, and now.
Oh my goodness, Chris! This is back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
On my calls, because I got ahead of myself there. Berta with the basketball.
I tell you, that's that defensive pressure that Port Allegany is known for, Chris. That man-to-man full court press,
and that's going to lose out of bounds. And we should get immediate timeout. We should be getting immediate timeout here. Wait. Immediate timeout.
He's switching up the call, Chris.
We're going to get immediate timeout. We'll take it here, Jess. We'll be back after these messages.
Spring is here, and that means grilling season. Mike's Bilo in Reynoldsville has all your grilling needs covered with chicken, steak, pork chops, and more. You can check out all of Mike's Bilo's weekly specials from the comfort of your home at mikesbilo.com, where you will also find online coupons and recipes. Visit Mike's Bilo on South 5th Street in Reynoldsville today. Mike's Bilo's Foods, your friendly hometown supermarket. Award-winning wings, cold beer, burgers. What else could you want? Just head on over to the Super Sub and Six Pack in DuBois for the best wings in the DuBois region, as well as the greatest selection of cold beer and much more. Located just off the B-line on McCracken Run Road. Good food, cold beer, ready to go. Super Sub and Six Pack in DuBois. Go online at supersixpack.com. That's P-A-K at the end. Super Sub and Six Pack in DuBois.
Back here at DCC High School. Jess, there was a change of call.
There was a change of call. They said it went off of the leg of one of the Lady Gators, and they give it back to DCC. You know, I know Coach Evans was he was a little, I wasn't upset with it, but he questioned it. But he was overruled, and it's DCC basketball. And now we are waiting for something.
We're waiting on the end of the media timeout.
Oh, okay.
We're doing this properly, Jess.
Okay.
It's a minute timeout, and there we go.
Okay, here we go.
Yep.
Now we're good
to go. That's on me. I mean, that's not on anybody else. I requested the media timeouts, and they properly handled that situation. If we were still in commercial, it would have. Heck, if I known it was going to last that long, we would have still been in commercial probably.
Right.
With the basketball is Berta. Mike's Bilo 3 is in the air, no good, but rebounded by Hope Jacob.
And that's where DCC is really going to have to do a number is on the boards. They've got to get second and third opportunities.
Now with it is Jesse Frank. Moses was on the ground. They didn't see the open player there. That was Hope Jacob. Said it's in the hands of Berta. Berta will go now to Hope Jacob. Now over to Jesse Frank. Jesse Frank Dribbles into the paint and then hands it off to Faith Jacob. Faith Jacob, move in. Layup, no good. Rebound, fought for and won by that was Hope Jacob. And then she misses, and Ella Moses with the rebound. And here come the Lady Gators trying to take the lead. And they're going to call the foul and the basket for Ella Moses. Now Rizzer will check back in as that's 2 now on Hope Jacob. 2 Team Bruno Alfreda Wrestling Camp fouls. No, just 1 on her. Sorry.
It's her first.
The board originally said 2. All over the place here right now, Jess. But at the Tennessee Builder Supply free throw line is Ella Moses. She misses. Rebound comes out, and it ends up in the hands of Brent Evans. Evans gives it off to Moses. Moses again. They're going to call a tie up there. They're going to say Rizzer tied her up with the block shot. And on the Pizza Hut possession arrow, it is Port Allegany basketball. Nobody out Pizza Hut, pizzahut.com.
I tell you what, Chris, I was worried he was going to call a foul there because it looked clean, but he went with the right call, and that's a call of possession.
Stauffer to Trigger. Triggers it into Moses. And she loses it out of bounds, but it went off of DCC. Moses has the ball in her hands a lot, Jess.
She does, and she's their leading scorer. I tell you, I really like.
Dow's actually their leading scorer.
Oh, Dow's their leading scorer, but Moses, she's doing a really, really nice job. And Stafford
that
too.
Ball is kicked out, is knocked out of bounds by Faith Jacob, so it'll remain.
Moses is the one with the energy right now, Chris. She's really doing well.
Looking to trigger is Stauffer. Now it's knocked out of bounds.
I tell you what, Rizzer is all over the place defensively too. She's tasked she's tagged with the task of guarding Moses right now, and she's all over. She's running through screens. She's doing a nice job.
Stauffer to trigger for what feels like the 35th time in the quarter. Triggers it in. Faith Jacob with the steal the whole way through, lays it up. That was an impressive play by Faith Jacob. She created the steal, tracked the ball down, and scored on the other end.
Absolutely. On the tip, she tipped it and ran it down, Chris.
The basketball is Stauffer. Stauffer gives it to Moses. Moses has it taken away by Faith Jacob, but then her pass goes through the legs of Rizzer out of bounds. It'll be Port Allegany basketball. It's getting
a little rough down there on that one, Chris.
It kind of looks like a Bruno Alfreda Wrestling Camp day right now.
It really does. They're physical.
Moses with it again. Moses, foul line jumper, no good. Rebound is going to be taken by Jessie Frank, and then climbing over her back was
Ella Moses.
That's going to be foul number.
I think it's number
1 on Moses.
Right.
She'll take a seat as Jenny Renner checks in. So Renner in for the first time for Port Allegany. Berta across the timeline. Berta gives it off to Jessie Frank. Frank to Hope Jacob, now back to Rizzer. Rizzer drives, Rizzer all the way through. There's 3 of them around her. She's going to get fouled. Another Team Bruno foul. That is number 10 of this quarter already. So the Bruno Alfreda Wrestling Camp getting its money's worth. And
that foul was on Jenna Renner, Chris, number 1.
Her first. So Rizzer, look how far back she is off the line, Jess. She hits it, though.
I was going to say she got it to go down, so that,
Lauren Davidson checks in. Super sub and 6-pack substitution. Super sub and 6-pack off the beeline on McCracken Run Road here in DuBois. Award-winning wings. Heard Doug Haynes enjoyed some stuff at the Super sub and 6-pack prior to the game. Stauffer with it. Stauffer loses the ball out of bounds. Yes.
And Chris, that was a correct call. It went right off of her leg. She kind of got it tipped a little bit, but it did go off of her leg.
So now Haynes will check in and Frank will check out as DCC trying to use its depth to its advantage.
And I think that's a good call by Coach who are, getting his girls, a lot of girls in the game so they can, really take advantage in the second half.
Berta gives it off to Rizzer.
With fresh legs.
Rizzer gives it to Davidson. Now back to Berta. Berta looks to Hope Jacob. Hope Jacob dribbles, gives it to Davidson. Davidson Goes back to Rizzer. Rizzer will set things up and give it to Haynes. Haynes goes to Faye Jacob. Now into the corner to Davidson. Tries to go inside to Rizzer. It's knocked out of bounds. It'll remain DCC basketball.
That was a great defensive job right there by Eric for the Lady Gators.
That's a 2-pointer by Berta. No good. Rebounded, though, by Rizzer. She gets it to Davidson. Davidson switches it out to Berta. Berta drives. Berta, little floater in the air. That'll fall. And it's an 11-8 lead for DCC.
And right now, Chris, DCC is settling back into their half-court defense, man-to-man. And look how aggressive they are, Chris,
has
off the
the
ball.
ball blocked. Davidson with it. Davidson gets it to Berta. Central looks to run. They get it to Haynes. Haynes, Mike Bilo, 3 in the air. In and out at the horn. No good. First quarter comes to an end. We'll be back after these messages. You're watching the YDL Sports Network.
Moe's Bar and Grill in Port Allegany. One of our customers called our offerings the best gourmet bar food you'll ever have. That pretty much sums us up. Stop in and see us at 68 West Mill Street, Port Allegany, or give us a call at 814-642-7999. That's 814-642-7999. Moe's Bar and Grill. Are you suffering from back pain, headaches, sciatica? Did you know that a healthy nervous system leads to a healthy body? Find out more from Dr. Andrew Young at Port Allegany Chiropractic and Olean Family Chiropractic. A District 9 lifer, born and raised in Clearfield and now calling Port Allegany home, Dr. Young has over 20 years of experience. And Port Allegany Chiropractic and Olean Family Chiropractic have a mission to provide their patients the best results in the shortest time, whatever their health goals are. Find out more at PortAlleganyChiropractic.com and OleanChiropractic.com. Chiropractic care and good health go hand in hand. The Bruno Iafrito Wrestling Camp, the best wrestling camp you've never heard of. The 2023 camp will be the 20th year for the Bruno Iafrito Wrestling Camp, and we'll have a star-studded lineup of clinicians. The camp will once again be held in Port Allegany, Pennsylvania from June 19th through the 23rd, 2023. Check us out online at teambruno.com and like us on Facebook. Hope to see you there at the Bruno Iafrito Wrestling Camp in Port Allegany, PA.
Back to live action, and Jesse Frank gets called for a travel. Hey, you don't have to travel. Just travel to Warren County instead. The Warren County Visitors Bureau, WCVB.net. Big jobs thing going on up in Warren County, looking for people that interested in jobs and such. Now there's a shot that's blocked, and now Rizzer, and now we're going to get a foul. They're going to get Moses.
They're going to get Moses on a reach.
That's going to be her second.
That is going to be a reach on Moses.
That's her third. That's her third, Jess.
And we're literally just into the second quarter, Chris.
Yeah, and Rizzer to the line to shoot a 1-and-1, shoots it up and in. So at the 7:32 mark, as the clock kept running there, apologize for that. 3 fouls on Ella Moses. So he has to check in Eric again. Hitting 1 of 2 there was Rizzer, but that's a problem for Port Allegany. They're in deep foul trouble, and they're not a deep team.
They aren't a deep team, Chris, and that's what really, really makes things tough for them.
And now Rizzer with the steal. Rizzer, coast to coast. She's gonna get fouled. Jamie Evans is just beside himself right now.
Foul on number 5, Chris.
That is 3 now on Nelson. So Nelson has 3.
Now they put it up as her first, Chris.
Oh yeah, they did. They had it as 3, and then they changed it to 1. So shot is good by Rizzer from the Tennessee Butterfly free throw line. She'll shoot a second one. Second one is also up and good. Some point, something's got to change. Either the players have got to stop fouling, or the officials have got to stop calling it. One of the two.
Correct.
Otherwise, there won't be enough players left to finish the game.
And and I can understand Chris calling it close and early going so it doesn't get out of control. But one player that was brushed against and she fell down, they called a foul on her. It's kind of tough.
Here is Dow, no good. Gets her own rebound, and now we're going to get another foul call.
And that foul is on number 23, Jessie Frank. I believe that would be her second. And it is her second. Number 4 checking in, Hope Jacob, checking into the game for DCC.
With the ball is Dow. Dow spins. Dow, wild shot up. Evans with the rebound. She gets it back to Stauffer. Stauffer jumper on the way, no good. Hope Jacob tried to rebound it instead of letting it go out of bounds. I'm not sure why. Here's a three-pointer by Dow, no good. Rebounded by Faith Jacob.
And that's exactly, look at DCC, Chris, out and running.
Here's Rizzer. Rizzer, layup no good. Ball tipped around into the hands of Dow, and now we're going to get a foul on DCC.
That foul is on Jacob, Chris, on Faith Jacob. I believe that is her first of the game. She, was battling for a rebound and got a reach in there, after she didn't come up with that rebound, Chris. Number 22, Emma Alinsky in the game for DCC.
Across the timeline is Nelson. She's going to put a 3 up. Oh, she hits the Mike Spilo 3 while falling backwards.
Wow, what a shot. She had a hand in her face, Chris. That was a great shot by Nelson.
Mike Spilo in Reynoldsville. Grilling season just around the corner. And now there's a steal by Dow. She's going to go ahead to Nelson. Nelson working on Alinsky. Throws it up, no good. Rebounded by Hope Jacob. Hope Jacob trying to dribble her way out of trouble. Finally gives it to Haynes, and now Jordan Hoover wants a timeout. We're going to take it with him. You're watching high school basketball on the YDL Sports Network.
Flatbreads, strombolis, Italian specials, pizzas, salads, and hoagies are just some of the delicious items you'll find at Glasstown Pizzeria on 5th Avenue and Brockway. Open 7 days a week until 9. Glasstown Pizzeria is where friendly people come to eat excellent food made by great people at an affordable price. Check out the menu at GlasstownPizzaPA.com or call today to place an order at 814-265-0020. Glasstown Pizza, a slice of the good life.
We're back here at
DuBois Central Catholic, Chris.
DCC High School, 5:37 to play in quarter number 2. Second quarter brought to you by Glasstown Pizzeria in Brockway.
Well, I tell you what, Chris, that was a huge shot there by Nelson with a 3. Had a hand in her face, and it really got
What did they?
Port Allegany going in the second quarter.
Evan Stauffer's just out there laughing right now. It's going to be it should be the double bonus now. I mean, they're saying 1-1, but it should be 2 shots. It will be for Jessie Frank.
And that
is now 3 on Kalea Dow.
Yep, I was just going to say that's on Dow. That's her third.
Jess, I promised District 9 that I'd be on my best behavior, and I'm really trying.
Well, I tell you what, the way that I look at those types of things, and I know they always put, Chris, an emphasis on, the hand check when you're playing defense on the ball handler. And she missed the second one. I really look at, Chris, the difference between that.
Jumper by Alinsky, no good. Rebounded, though, by Jessie Frank. Her layup is good. I just feel, Jess, like this game has been taken away from the players in a large way.
I do. And when I was going to finish.
I'm not, we have another foul, and that's a foul.
And that was a foul, absolutely.
It's on Berta. That should be, is that 1-1 now? No, that's only 6.
Right, and that's Berta's first. But what I was saying is, no defensive player was gaining an advantage on that foul that he called. That would be my only gripe with it, Chris. I understand the foul call, but you only call it when they gain an advantage, and I didn't see an advantage being gained.
And I get it. It's you don't want to criticize the officials.
No,
and the coaches don't, and the players don't, and the fans don't. But sometimes it gets frustrating when you see things happen, and it just happens. And, I think Jamie Evans has had a couple of those in this game. And I think so is Jordan Hoover and some of the players, too, just wondering. I think they're just wondering what it should be. There's Bree Evans. She'll lay it up. No good. Rebound comes out to Faith Jacob, but she throws it into the head. That was Alinsky, I'm sorry. She threw it into the head of Lexi Berta, so Port Allegany with the steal.
And that's where, Chris, I think the game plan of getting out and running kind of shot themselves in the foot there. DCC had a good possession. They didn't have numbers.
Stauffer layup, and she's going to be fouled.
So Stauffer's going to go to the line, but like I said, DCC didn't have the numbers, so they should have just held that possession there. That foul's on number 21, Chris Faith Jacob.
That's her second. So now Stauffer at the Tennessee Butterfly free throw line hits the first, makes it a 5-point game. I mean, one good thing if you're Port Allegany is you're in deep foul trouble, but you're not out of this game. You're only down 5.
No, you're only down 5. And I tell you what, that big shot by Nelson was huge. If they can get it back under control and run their half-court set as Stauffer hits her second, I think they'll be in good shape, Chris.
She does as Jesse Frank gets it to Alinsky. Alinsky over to Rizzer. Rizzer flips it to Frank. Frank jumper on the way. Good.
What a nice shot by Jesse Frank. And boy, they moved the ball well there, Chris. I really like the way that.
And we're going to get a foul here on Jesse Frank as well. She just really went through that.
And I think that's her third.
Yeah, I mean, that's an obvious.
Yeah.
They're going to say it's
her second. I'm sorry.
No, third. It went up as the third.
It went up. I was going to say, I'm thinking that's her third, Chris.
So Rose Whipple. Now, I know these teams aren't deep, Jess, but your thoughts on these coaches letting these players get like especially the way this game's being called. Don't you have to get players with in foul trouble out of the game?
I would. Okay, I would look at it.
I mean, just it's being called tight. You're already running a risk with 2 fouls. I think at some point you had to be smarter than that as the coaches. Here's Alinsky from Haynes, lays it up and in.
Yes, I would agree with that, Chris. You're really taking a risk, especially the way this game is being called.
With the ball was Evans. She gives it off to Nelson. Nelson 3-pointer in the air, no good. Rebounded by Haynes as that Mike Spilo 3 was off the mark. Here's Alinsky. Alinsky's going to slow it down. She hands it to Rizzer, and now we're going to get a travel call, and that should bring us to the media timeout.
Right there, Chris Rizzer was looking for number 5, Marina Haynes, but she cut backdoor, and she was kind of
Moe's
left.
Bar and Grill in Port Allegany. One of our customers called our offerings the best gourmet bar food you'll ever have. That pretty much sums us up. Stop in and see us at 68 West Mill Street, Port Allegany, or give us a call at 814-642-7999. That's 814-642-7999. Moe's Bar and Grill. Are you suffering from back pain, headaches, sciatica? Did you know that a healthy nervous system leads to a healthy body? Find out more from Dr. Andrew Young at Port Allegany Chiropractic and Olean Family Chiropractic. A District 9 lifer, born and raised in Clearfield and now calling Port Allegany home, Dr. Young has over 20 years of experience. And Port Allegany Chiropractic and Olean Family Chiropractic have a mission to provide their patients the best results in the shortest time, whatever their health goals are. Find out more at PortAlleganyChiropractic.com and OleanChiropractic.com. Chiropractic care and good health go hand in hand. The Bruno Iafrito Wrestling Camp, the best wrestling camp you've never heard of. The 2023 camp will be the 20th year for the Bruno Iafrito Wrestling Camp, and we'll have a star-studded lineup of clinicians. The camp will once again be held in Port Allegany, Pennsylvania from June 19th through the 23rd, 2023. Check us out online at teambruno.com and like us on Facebook. Hope to see you there at the Bruno Iafrito Wrestling Camp in Port Allegany, PA.
Back to live action here. After that media timeout, Port Allegany basketball trailing by 8. Evan Stauffer has it. She gives it off. Nope, now she gives it off to Renner. Renner over to Eric. Now into the hands of Nelson. Nelson to Evans. Bryn Evans, layup, no good. Rebounded by Rizzer. Rizzer goes the other way. Rizzer lays it up and in.
That was Emma Alinsky, Chris. Rizzer passed it off to Alinsky, and Alinsky hit the bunny.
Final score from boys action, it was Otto Eldred 61, Kerwinsville 31 in AA. Otto will play Ridgeway in a semifinal game.
And that should be a good game, Chris.
St. Mary's all over Clearfield 46-27. Evans, 3-pointer on the way, no good. Rebounded by Berta. She's triple team. And then she
and
carries
then she
it.
carries. See, again, I said it a little bit ago, Chris. Right now, DuBois really wants to get out. DCC really wants to get out and run. They kind of left her hanging. She was triple teamed. She had nowhere to go. She ended up carrying the basketball.
So Stauffer will trigger here with 2.5 minutes to play in the second quarter. Glass on Pizzeria, second quarter. And she throws it out of bounds. She threw a fastball right through Bryn Evans.
That was a fastball, Chris. She came on that one really, really hard. Now
So,
we're going offense, defense here, I
so
think, a little bit.
Whipple checks in on a super sub and six-pack substitution.
So with 2:27 left here, Chris, I look for DCC to take a little bit of time off the clock. You're up by 10 with 2 minutes to go until halftime. I say take a little bit of time off the clock here.
With the ball is Berta. She tries to go inside to Rizzer. Rizzer working, jumper, no good, rebounded by Renner.
Here comes Port with Stauffer with the basketball.
Stauffer, Mike Spilo threw in the air. That's going to be off the mark, rebounded by Whipple. Rose Whipple has her pass stolen by Stauffer. Stauffer gives it off to Renner. Renner's layup no good. Whipple the rebound again. This time she gets it out to Haynes. DCC's got a 3-on-2. Haynes all the way through. Can't get that. Framorelli driving layup to fall.
Boy, that was a great take, Chris. She went all the way. The only thing that didn't fall was the basket, right, the ball right through the basket. She really did a nice job there.
Stauffer sets things up. Now with it is Nelson. Now over to Eric. And then it goes off of Rizzer's foot. That'll be a kick. That'll slow things down. And now Lauren Davidson's going to check back in for Rose Whipple here for DCC on a super sub and six-pack substitution.
Coach Hoover doing a really nice job, Chris, with the offense to defense substitutions.
Nelson with it. Now with it is Eric. Now Renner. Renner gives it back to Nelson. Nelson to Stauffer. Stauffer looks things over. Gives it in the corner to Eric. Eric driving. Eric is going to walk. Hey, make your travel plans to Warren County, PA. Warren County Visitors Bureau, WCVB.net for events. Go /events as Whipple will check back in on the super sub and six-pack substitution. But lots of great things going on in Warren County.
Absolutely, here at the end of February. Wonderful things going on in Warren.
Whipple with the basketball in the corner. Whipple gets it off to Alinsky. Alinsky now back to Whipple. Whipple inside to Rizzer. Rizzer in trouble, flips it out to Berta. Berta, Mike Spilo three just short. Rebound comes out to Nelson. She thinks about running. Now we'll pull it back and hand it to Stauffer. Stauffer working on Berta. Goes around her, goes through Whipple. Layup, no good, gets her own rebound. She's going to get fouled on the putback situation, and she will go to the Tenesta Builder Supply free throw line on another Team Bruno Alfreda wrestling cap foul on DCC. That one is on Rizzer. That's her first.
That is her first on Rizzer, and I tell you what.
Stauffer's first on the Tenesta Builder Supply free throw line is good.
And Stauffer is really, really working hard, Chris. She is all over the place right now for the Port Allegany Lady Gators.
Her second one is up. Her second one is good. So now across the timeline comes Haynes. With it is Alinsky, now Whipple. Whipple looks for a cutting Rizzer. Rizzer walked. Yep,
she did. She shuffled that step.
Took that little extra hop right before she shot it.
And that was a great offensive play, Chris. It just when Rizzer got the ball, she took that extra little shuffle. It cost her. It was a great offensive play. She even got the basket to fall, but she shuffled her feet before taking the shot.
So now Nelson, they're going to probably hope for the last shot here. Stauffer with it. Stauffer now over to Evans with 8 seconds. Tries to go inside. It's going to get knocked away, and they're going to say that it stays with DCC, or Port Allegany, excuse me, 4.7. And now they're going to get Dow in.
Well, this is scary, Chris. Wow, with 4 seconds. I mean, I know you're on offense. There's probably not that big of a, other than a charge, right?
I mean, if you were Alinsky there, don't you take that? And now the ball is knocked away by Rizzer, and we're going to have a shot put up, no good. And the half comes to an end. It's 23-15 at halftime. We'll be back after these messages.
Hi, Chris Rossetti here from D9and10sports.com. I wanted to take a second to tell you about one of the best restaurants in all of Western Pennsylvania, the Allegany Grill in Foxburg, PA. With indoor and outdoor dining, you can enjoy prime rib all weekend long, or perhaps it is their full wings served on Thursday wing nights that you're after. From celebrating a special occasion to hanging out with family and friends, the Allegany Grill in Foxburg is the place to be. As they like to say, you come for the food and you stay for the view. Reserve your table today at AlleganyGrill.com. Need plumbing, heating, or air conditioning services in Western PA? Then call Luton's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning in Clarion today at 814-226-8695. At Luton's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, we believe that a service-oriented business like ours should give you quality care and a quick response time. That's why we stand on our promise, offering you reliable 24-hour service that gets your job done right when you need it. We can also be found on the web at lutonsplumbing.com. Again, that number is 814-226-8695. Fran Morelli Sales and Service is a family-owned and operated used car dealership and auto repair facility that has been serving Brockway, Pennsylvania since 1976. At Fran Morelli Sales and Service, we stock a wide variety of used cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. You never have to worry about buying a vehicle from us, with each of our vehicles in our inventory going through a rigorous inspection process to make sure that your vehicle is in the best condition. Call our team of experts today at 814-265-1330 and check us out at franmorelli.com.
What's the recipe for surprising the kids, treating yourself, and ditching dish duty? You're looking at it. Order your Pizza Hut faves like original pan, original stuffed crust, and more at pizzahut.com. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Are you hungry? Of course you're hungry. And Daddy's on Main Street in Clarion is ready to tackle that hunger for you. Serving amazing food since 2008, Daddy's has been Clarion's go-to stop whenever hunger strikes. Whether it's a good old-fashioned hot dog or hamburger, a salad, or something from their rotating chef's menu. Yes, I said rotating chef's menu. Daddy has you covered. You can order ahead by calling 814-223-4687 or come on in and dine in. Have a big event you are catering? Daddy's can do that too. Like Daddy's on Facebook at Daddy's Clarion and stop in today. You won't be disappointed.
Okay, back here at halftime, we are looking at the Potter County Family Campground halftime show. At the Potter County Family Campground, your outdoor adventures start here with family and friends. We can accommodate your camping needs, whether you camp in a tent, RV, or one of our camping cabins. We have a camping experience for you. Open year-round and located in the heart of Potter County, God's country. Check us out online at pottercountycamping.com. So right now we're looking at DCC. We're looking at Lexi Berta, 3 points. Marina Haynes has 2. Kaylee Rizzer, 6 points for Kaylee Rizzer. Faith Jacob has 3. Emma Linsky has 2. And Jesse Frank rounds out the scoring for the DCC Lady Cardinals with 5, giving us a total right now of a halftime score for the DCC Lady Cardinals at 23. Flipping over and looking at Port Allegany. Port Allegany is led by Evan Stauffer. She is at 2, 4, 6 points, with Leah Nelson coming in with 1 3-pointer. Ella Moses has 2 foul shots and a bucket, so she's got 4. And Maddie Eric has 2. Right now, Port Allegany leading Port Allegany right now with 6 points would be Stauffer, and they have 15 right now, Chris. And the big key to the first half for the DCC Lady Cardinals, it's literally their ability to rebound and get out and run. They're running. When they have to set up and go in their half-court set, the Port Allegany Gators, they're doing a really, really nice job off the ball. People trying to drive the lane. They're very, very active hands, active feet, and they're getting tips and getting steals. Where they're really, really capitalizing is when they get a rebound, they outlet and run. That's where a lot of points have come for DCC. On the other hand, Port has turned the ball, has gotten DCC, Chris, to turn the ball over quite a few times. They just haven't been able to capitalize on it. They don't have much of an inside presence right now. So, if Moses, can get back in the game and bring the energy that she brought in the first half. And also, I'm looking at Stauffer. She's doing a really, really nice job. She's got 4 points from the line. She has another bucket, but they really have to get Dowell. She's got 3 fouls, Chris, but they have to get her involved in the second half if they're going to have a chance to come back.
We're going to step aside. Thanks to more of our sponsors. When we come back, we'll look ahead to exactly what these teams have to do in the second half to move forward. You're watching high school basketball on the YDL Sports Network.
Award-winning wings, cold beer, burgers. What else could you want? Just head on over to the Super Sub and Six Pack in DuBois for the best wings in the DuBois region, as well as the greatest selection of cold beer and much more. Located just off the Beeline on McCracken Run Road. Good food, cold beer, ready to go. Super Sub and Six Pack in DuBois. Go online at supersixpack.com. That's P-A-K at the end. Super Sub and Six Pack in DuBois. Charlie's Pub in DuBois is your place for handcrafted steak burgers and dogs, specialty sandwiches, hoagies, hand-tossed pizza, and of course their wings. Make sure to try their famous Uncle Bobo's wing sauce. 40 years in the making, this sauce is the boss. Find out more at charliespubdubois.com. Charlie's Pub, located at 119 North Main Street in DuBois. Great food, great drinks, great time. Spring is here, and that means grilling season. Mike's Bilo in Reynoldsville has all your grilling needs covered with chicken, steak, pork chops, and more. You can check out all of Mike's Bilo's weekly specials from the comfort of your home at mikesbilo.com, where you will also find online coupons and recipes. Visit Mike's Bilo on South 5th Street in Reynoldsville today. Mike's Bilo's Foods, your friendly hometown supermarket. Flatbreads, strombolis, Italian specials, pizzas, salads, and hoagies are just some of the delicious items you'll find at Glasstown Pizzeria on 5th Avenue and Brockway. Open 7 days a week until 9, Glasstown Pizzeria is where friendly people come to eat excellent food made by great people at an affordable price. Check out the menu at glasstownpizzapa.com or call today to place an order at 814-265-0020. Glasstown Pizza, a slice of the good life.
Wise Eyes of DuBois and St. Mary's are premier eye care facilities here in our Tri-County area. Their offices and eye care team are dedicated to providing excellence in patient care, eye education, and optical services. Dr. Greg Lineski is a leader in clinical eye care involving eye and vision disorders. Dr. Lineski takes the time to explain the results of your eye exam, describes your options, and listens to your eye care needs, because maintaining good eye health is an ongoing partnership at Wise Eyes of DuBois and St. Mary's.
Back here at the half with DCC up 23-15. It's time for our Wise Eyes. Good decisions to be made in the second half by both of these teams. Wise Eyes. Make good decisions. Get your eyes checked at Wise Eyes with locations in DuBois and St. Mary's. MyWiseEyes.com. That's MyWiseEyes.com.
My Wise Eyes. All right. I like it, Chris. I tell you what, I'm looking at DCC. And I'm looking at my score sheet here. Incredibly balanced. Rizzer has 6. Jesse Frank's got 5. Alinsky's got 4. Faith Jacobs got 2. That's what they have to keep doing in the second half. Rebound and run, rebound and run, rebound and run. They don't want to get bogged down in a half court set, because the Lady Gators are very, very good defensively. Now, on the other hand, Lady Gators, they have to do a better job controlling the basketball and getting second looks. They're getting shots off, but they are not getting offensive rebounds, okay? So what they need to do is they need to do a better job on the offensive glass. I understand they're trying to get back and prevent DCC from running, but the way you prevent them from running is getting offensive rebounds and getting putbacks, and that is the key for the Lady Gators in the second half.
Those are your good decisions to be made in the second half, brought to you by Wise Eyes, mywiseeyes.com, locations in DuBois and St. Mary's. Step aside one more time here, Jess. When we come back, it'll be time for the second half. You're watching high school basketball on the YDL Sports Network.
What's the recipe for surprising the kids, treating yourself, and ditching dish duty? You're looking at it. Order your Pizza Hut faves like original pan, original stuffed crust, and more at pizzahut.com. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Are you looking for a great place to relax? Are you looking for a great place to relax and enjoy the fresh mountain air of the Susquehannock State Forest in the Allegheny Mountains? Then the Potter County Campground is the place for you. Your outdoor adventure starts at the Potter County Campground with family and friends. The Potter County Campground can accommodate all your camping needs. Whether you camp in a tent, RV, or one of their camping cabins, they have a camping experience for you. Open year-round, the 44-acre Potter County Campground is located in the heart of Potter County, God's country. Check them out online at pottercountycamping.com.
Back here, getting ready for the start of the third quarter, brought to you by Moe's Bar and Grill. Moe's Bar and Grill is the #1 seed in the hamburger business in District 9's playoffs. Moe's Bar and Grill has been serving up the best burgers in Port Allegany for the last 25 years. With over 20 different burgers, including a different one each month. Hey, man, try the Unholy Trinity or the Cheetah Burger. Sean Lathrop introduced me to both of those burgers, and they're to die for, Jess. The Cheetah is made in their French onion soup and then topped with the onions from the French onion soup and provolone cheese.
That sounds great.
And the Unholy Trinity is Chisora sausage, hamburger, and bacon.
I tell you what,
I'll
Chris,
put into a patty.
Look at that.
What a pass to Kaylia Dow. She scores. The Gators back within 6, 23-17, as they took the Pizza Hut possession arrow to start the second half.
And what I'm interested in looking at here, Chris, is, they're starting 2 girls with 3 fouls.
Yeah, they're into a zone now, Jess.
Yeah.
That's something we didn't see in the first half. That's to protect those players.
That's right.
It's an aggressive zone. Jacob gives it to Rizzer, who cuts right through it. That is how you attack a zone defense.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Chris. I was going to say that you've got to keep passing through it. And right now, DCC's in that half-court trap. It's kind of giving Port Allegany some fits, but they were able to handle it and get the ball into the half-court set.
Stauffer gives it to Evans, now to Dow. Dow gives it back now to Nelson to set things up. Now hands it off to Moses, picked up by Rizzer. Now over to Stauffer. Stauffer dribbles, Stauffer in, and then she walks. Hey, don't travel on the court. Travel to Warren County instead, Jess.
I travel to Warren County often, Chris, as I have a camp in near Heart's Content Campground, actually.
You're going to have to tell me where that's at, Jess.
It's between Tidiute and Warren.
After Berta's Mike Philo 3 is off the mark, rebounded by Evans. Right off of 36 there? Or
you go up, before you cross into Tidiute, you go up over the hill to the right, and then it's back toward Warren if you're heading on, I think it's Route 337, Chris. Out there at Heart's Content. It's a nice campground place out there.
Jess is inviting everybody up for a big barbecue this summer.
That would be fun, Chris. We'd have a lot of fun, I can tell you that.
Get some stuff from the Super Sap and 6-pack here in DuBois. Only those of adult age, of course. Ella Moses steals the basketball and comes the other way. Moses to Stauffer. She thought about the 3, took it down. Instead, she's going to take the closer jumper. That doesn't go. Evans, though, the rebound. She's going to get fouled, and if that's on Hope Jacob, that's going to be her 3rd, Jess? Or 4th?
It would be, let's see here.
No, they're going to get Hope Jacob.
Yep.
That is foul number 3 on her.
That's foul number 3.
Team Bruno foul. We'll send Evans to the Tennessee's Play free throw line. She hits the first. And Sean Lathrop texted me, wrestler, play no blood, no foul.
As a coach, I like that. I wanted my guys to be very, very aggressive.
Big wrestling tournament this weekend in District 9. The District 9 championships, individual championships at Tip and Gym, Friday and Saturday. Make sure to go out and root on those student athletes as well. Today's game being brought to you in part by Port Allegany chiropractor Andrew Young from Clearfield, now living in Port. Boy, does he have a couple of stud athletes. Miska Yusa Young.
If that is on Ella Moses, that's her 4th, and it is, Chris. And it is, Chris.
So now they're going to have to go to Garrett. So they ran the they
gambled there.
They gambled, and it didn't pay off. She didn't get enough offense to make it. And now what a pass by Berta, and Alinsky can't finish.
Boy, was that a great pass. She looked one way. The defender went that way.
Now Dow with it. Dow dribbling it around. Dow hands it off to Evans. Now back inside to Stauffer. Stauffer has her shot blocked by Rizzer, and then she hits the ball, and it's out of bounds.
Boy, I like that offensive set there, Chris. I think that Stauffer really has to get involved offensively right now for the Port Allegany Lady Gators.
A couple of score updates. These were halftime scores. Elk County Catholic was leading Clarion 24-9. That's a Hunter Station Golf Club score update. Golf season starts March 31st. That's just around the corner. Here's a jumper by Frank. That's good from just inside the line.
And Jesse Frank hits that was a two-pointer,
Yeah,
Chris?
that was a two-pointer.
That was just a two?
Yep, it was just a two. Now Dow with a Mike Spilo three, and she buries it. Grilling season just around the corner, too. Grilling, golf, spring's just around. It felt like spring out there today.
Boy, it did, Chris. It was very, very nice. A little windy, but wow, was it nice.
6-point game right now.
A little bit of confusion right now for the Port Allegany Lady Gators. They were in a 2-3 zone, but, some people were out of position there.
Jesse Frank into the corner to Berta. Back to Rizzer, now to Haynes.
And this is
the Berta. Three-pointer by Frank. That's short, and it's rebounded on the weak side by Rizzer, though. Haynes tried to force a pass to Frank. Stauffer steps in front of it. Stauffer wants to attack. Stauffer through everybody. Layup no good. Rebounded by Haynes. Haynes gets it ahead to Berta. Berta just inside the line. Realizes that wasn't a good shot. Didn't take it. Now here's Rizzer. Rizzer working on Evans. Rizzer no good. Rebounded by Eric. And now here comes Nelson. Sorry, Jess.
I was going to say, right now, that kind
of three-pointer in the air. She airballed it. Trying to save it with Stauffer. She didn't. That was actually for the best. And we're going to go to immediate timeout. We'll take it with them. You're watching high school basketball on the YDL Sports Network.
Spring is here, and that means grilling season. Mike's Bilo in Reynoldsville has all your grilling needs covered with chicken, steak, pork chops, and more. You can check out all of Mike's Bilo's weekly specials from the comfort of your home at mikesbilo.com, where you will also find online coupons and recipes. Visit Mike's Bilo on South 5th Street in Reynoldsville today. Mike's Bilo's Foods, your friendly hometown supermarket. Award-winning wings, cold beer, burgers. What else could you want? Just head on over to the Super Sub and Six Pack in DuBois for the best wings in the DuBois region, as well as the greatest selection of cold beer and much more. Located just off the Beeline on McCracken Run Road. Good food, cold beer, ready to go. Super Sub and Six Pack in DuBois. Go online at supersixpack.com. That's P-A-K at the end. Super Sub and Six Pack in DuBois. Fran Morelli Sales and Service is a family-owned and operated used car dealership and auto repair facility that has been serving Brockway, Pennsylvania since 1976. At Fran Morelli Sales and Service, we stock a wide variety of used cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. You never have to worry about buying a vehicle from us, with each of our vehicles in our inventory going through a rigorous inspection process to make sure that your vehicle is in the best condition. Call our team of experts today at 814-265-1330 and check us out at franmorelli.com.
Back here to live action.
I tell you what, Chris, in that timeout, I really like what Coach Jordan Hoover did with his team. He said, if we have numbers, score.
Haynes, little jumper, no good. Rebounded by Evans.
But he also told them if they got defenders back, we need to take as much time off the clock as we can.
Evans puts up a Mike Spilo three. She airballs it. It's going to go out of bounds, though, off of DCC. And now Faith Jacob checks back in with those 3 fouls, and Whipple checks out on a Super Sub and six-pack substitution.
I think Coach Hoover needs a big presence of Jacob in there in the paint.
Nice inlet pass, and then Haynes takes it away.
That's a great defensive job right there by Haynes.
Haynes gets it to Berta. Berta to Alinsky. Back to Berta. Now to Rizzer. Rizzer to Jacob. Now to Haynes. Haynes dribbles it out and gives it to Rizzer. Rizzer back to Haynes. Now to Berta. No, it's one of those situations, Jess. They're sitting in the zone. Make them come out and play you. You're up 6. The clock's your friend, even with 10 minutes. Instead, Haynes with the Mike Spilo three.
And I tell you what, Chris, that's exactly. They work it around until they get an open shot, and then Haynes buries the three.
Dow thought about the three. Instead, she's going to drive it in. She's fouled by Rizzer.
You know, and that's what Port's got to do. They really got to get Dow into an offensive flow. The ball's got to go through her hands and into the hoop if Port Allegany is going to come back in this one.
It's the second Bruno Reifrieder wrestling camp foul on Rizzer as Kalia Dow hits the first shot from the Tedesca Builder Supply free throw line. She'll get a second one. Second shot is up. Second shot no good. And the rebound ends up in the hands of Faith Jacob. Faith Jacob ahead to Lexi Berta. Lexi Berta gives it to Haynes. Haynes misses the layup, but Rizzer's there with the weak side rebound. Gives it to Faith Jacob for the foul line jumper, and it rattles home. And now Jordan Hoover wants timeout. It's a 30. We'll take it with them. You're watching high school basketball on the YDL Sports Network.
What's the recipe for surprising the kids, treating yourself, and ditching dish duty? You're looking at it. Order your Pizza Hut faves like original pan, original stuffed crust, and more at pizzahut.com. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Back here live at DCC High School, looking at the Hunter Station Golf Club scoreboard. Final score, Otto Eldred 61-31 over Kerwinsville in boys 2A action. St. Mary's girls 46, Clearfield 27. St. Mary's will get a third meeting with Punxsutawney, the juggernaut that is the Lady Chucks.
I tell you what a program that they have down there for the past, how many years, Chris, have the Lady Chucks been in it to win it? Last year, I think, was the only year that they didn't with going up against Red Bank.
Yeah, and, it started with Randy Wright, has continued with Mike Carlson. Mike Carlson quietly puts together a great team year in and year out.
And I tell you what, I think that's exactly right. Quietly, Chris. He does a great job with that program.
Here's Dow. Dow lays it up. No good. Rebounded by Rizzer.
Boy, I like Dow. Is she aggressive on offense? She's looking for contact there. There could have been a little bit of contact, but there was no call made.
Berta with the basketball. Berta gives it to Haynes. Now into Jacob. Jacob working on Dow. Jacob around Dow and lays it up. And that's a case where Kalia Dow with 3 fouls, she really can't do what she wants to do defensively there, can she, Jess?
No, she really can't. She can't take that chance. There's still a lot of time left, and she cannot take the risk of picking up that 4th foul.
Nelson goes into Dow, and it went right through her, and then Haynes picks it up on the other side. Haynes quickly ahead. Now Faith Jacob with it. Faith Jacob is going to get fouled, I do believe.
Looked like by Nelson. Yeah, number 5.
Nelson with that. It's going to be her second as Stauffer checks back in. And for DCC Whipple on those super sub and 6-pack substitutions. Super sub and 6-pack off McCracken Run, off the beeline on McCracken Run Road right here in Dubois. Award-winning wings.
And DCC looking just to take some time off the clock. 50 seconds left in the third.
Berta thought about taking the shot. Now she's going to drive in. She had more room to go, Jess. I don't think she realized it. It opened up. It parted like the Red Sea.
I was just going to say it parted like the Red Sea, and she pulled up.
I mean, that's fitting that it parted like the Red Sea at a Catholic high school.
And a Catholic high school, and the paint, it's all red. It really parted, and she kind of came up short on that. Picked up her dribble. One dribble too soon.
Big day in the Catholic faith yesterday, Ash Wednesday. And now we're going to get a foul. Is that on Rizzer? That's going to be her third.
I think they're going to call it on Haynes.
They did get that on Marina Haynes. That'll be her.
That is, it's her second?
Third. So now Hope Jacob checks in and Rizzer checks out as Stauffer to trigger to Evans. Evans gives it to Dow. Dow, 3-pointer on the way. It's another. Mike Spilo and Reynoldsville 3 for Kalia Dow. How many is that for her now, Jess?
That's her second 3, but I tell you what, she has almost all the points in this third quarter for the Port Allegany Lady Gators.
Lauren Davidson then has it knocked out of bounds by Stauffer. 8.4 to play here.
And Chris, they changed that back to Haynes. That was Haynes' first foul.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yes, because I was going to say I didn't have her down for that many.
So now Rizzer quickly back in the game on offense. Haynes gives it to Berta with 6 inside to Rizzer. She's triple team. Shot's a little short, but there's Hope Jacob the rebound. Ends up with another rebound, gets it to Alinsky, and then the quarter will come to an end with a 9-point lead for DCC. We'll be back after these messages. You're watching high school basketball on the YDL Sports Network.
Flatbreads, strombolis, Italian specials, pizzas, salads, and hoagies are just some of the delicious items you'll find at Glasstown Pizzeria on 5th Avenue and Brockway. Open 7 days a week until 9. Glasstown Pizzeria is where friendly people come to eat excellent food made by great people at an affordable price. Check out the menu at glasstownpizzapa.com or call today to place an order at 814-265-0020. Glasstown Pizza. Moe's Bar and Grill in Port Allegany. One of our customers called our offerings the best gourmet bar food you'll ever have. That pretty much sums us up. Stop in and see us at 68 West Mill Street, Port Allegany, or give us a call at 814-642-7999. That's 814-642-7999. Moe's.
Back here at DuBois Central Catholic High School, it'll be DCC basketball on the Pizza Hut possession arrow. Nobody out Pizza Hut, pizzahut.com.
Now, Chris, it's interesting. If Port Allegany stays in their 2-3 zone, which it looks like they will, I just pull the ball out. I know you're only up 9 points, but I pull them out. I make them come out and then attack the girls who are in foul trouble.
Rizzer to Haynes. Haynes will dribble it back out. Gives it to Berta. Berta into the corner to Jesse Frank. Frank to Rizzer. Now back out to Berta. Berta with a Mike Spilo in Reynoldsville. 3-pointer for the Lady Cardinals to put them back up 12, 37-25.
And that is a huge shot right there for DCC, Chris. Start off fourth quarter with a big 3.
Evans down the baseline. Evans, lots of contact, no foul. Basket's good, though.
What a drive, Chris. Right down the baseline right there. She beat Rizzer to the hoop.
You'll never have to worry about driving a lane when you drive a great used vehicle from Framarelli Sales and Service in Brockway. Oh, what a pass by Rizzer. That's a Daddy's and Clarion dish. We haven't had a ton of those, but we got one there.
Boy, what great ball movement. They sliced right through that 2-3 zone, and they did it with.
And now we're going to get a foul on Frank out there.
And they did it with great ball movement, Chris. They passed right through it. I believe that's her 4th.
Oh, sorry about that, folks. We forgot to turn the camera back on. So,
Now that happens sometimes.
it was like an old-fashioned radio broadcast, Jess.
Been there before.
Oh, what a block shot there by Rizzer. She blocked out shot. And then they throw it away.
And see, that's exactly what I'm talking about, Chris. Coach Hoover earlier told his girls, if you don't have numbers, slow it down, take time off the clock. They didn't have numbers there. Rizzer should have pulled that one back and taken some time off the clock before they get a good shot off.
That is the wise eyes, wise decision to make. MyWiseEyes.com. Layup by Nelson, no good. Rebounded by Jacob. Jacob wants to push the matter. She's going to take it. All of a sudden, the whistles have gone away.
They really have, Chris. And there again,
And now the parts like the Red Sea for Dow. She can't get it to go. Rizzer, though, the rebound.
And right now, Coach Hoover saying, slow it down, slow it down. This is a good decision right here by Berta.
A good wise eyes decision. Wise
Absolutely.
eyes, armatologist, eye doctor in St. Mary's and DuBois. And now Berta is going to take another Mike Spilo in Reynoldsville 3. She keeps hitting those. And Mike Spilo might be out of stakes.
Chris, I tell you what, she shot that and was as cool as the other side of the pillow. She shot it and walked up the court, Chris.
And now the ball's on the ground, and we're going to get a foul call on somebody.
What are we doing here?
Calling it on Evans on, I think it's called on Evans.
It was.
And that's going to be her 4th. And we're going to get a timeout call by Jamie Evans. It's going to be a full will take it with him. You're watching high school basketball on the YDL Sports Network.
It's that time of year where the weather tests our sanity. But better days lie shortly ahead. Nature will welcome us back to enjoy its sweet chorus, and sparkling waters will engulf us and rejuvenate our souls. There will be countless adventures and awesome opportunities, and most importantly, quality time with those we love. We welcome you to enjoy some of life's great experiences in Warren County, where we have been enjoying the great outdoors since 1819. Warren County, Pennsylvania. Simple, pure, real.
Award-winning wings, cold beer. Award-winning wings, cold beer, burgers. What else could you want? Just head on over to the Super Sub and Six Pack in DuBois for the best wings in the DuBois region, as well as the greatest selection of cold beer and much more. Located just off the Beeline on McCracken Run Road. Good food, cold beer, ready to go. Super Sub and Six Pack in DuBois. Go online at supersixpack.com. That's P-A-K at the end. Super Sub and Six Pack in DuBois.
Here in the Hunter Station Golf Club fourth quarter. Again, golfing starts at Hunter Station Golf Club March 31st, weather permitting. HunterStation.com, just south of Tynesta. Easy drive from both DuBois and Port Allegany. Here's a three-pointer by Haynes, rebounded by Frank. She gives it to Rizzer. I'm not really sure what Marina Haynes was doing there, up 15, Jess.
No, you don't want that shot. I think it's just, she kind of got a little bit excited there. But I tell you what, Berta, what a great job to dribble through a full court press.
Now Rizzer finds a hole and lays it up and in.
And a full court press by Port Allegany, and Berta went right through it.
It's now a 17-point lead for DCC. Laying it up and in is Ella Moses back in the game for Port Allegany with those 4 fouls. They're in a full court press. They almost take it away from Berta, and now we're going to get, what did he call? He just teed up. Jamie Evans just got teed up. Jamie Evans was just assessed a technical foul here. So Jamie Evans assessed the technical foul. The play was right in front of him. You have to understand something here. Jamie's an official himself. So if Jamie's thinking one thing, chances are he's probably thinking the right thing, Jess. But the officials didn't see the same thing, and so that'll send Berta to the Tynesta Builder Supply free throw line to shoot the technical fouls. And now Jamie Evans won't be able to stand up the last 4:38 either.
And Berta hits both of them, Chris. Chris, I watched the exchange between Coach Evans and the referee. I didn't see anything that was, that egregious. He sat down after he said something and then got the technical. So it had to be what he said, not the way he said it.
Just important to know. Now we get another foul here on, this is going to be on Dow, I do believe.
It is, and that would be her 4th.
Jess, it is important to note that no matter who loses this game, they still have another game to go because there are 5 teams that make the state playoffs out of District 9 Class A. It'll go into a loser's bracket. That loser's bracket gets reseeded. Not necessarily in like 1, 2, 3, 4, but in other words, the highest seed would play the lowest seed and so forth.
Right.
In that bracket, the winner here plays the winner of the Otto Eldred Northern Potter game, which is about a half hour in. There's another foul, more free throws coming up here for Jesse Frank as we have another Team Bruno wrestling camp foul.
That was on Evans, her 3rd.
Being honest, Jess, in wrestling, if that had just happened, the technical foul, the crowd would have probably been a little bit more vocal.
I think they would have been. I know the student section really liked that, but I tell you, I don't know what was said. We're pretty far away.
That's Moses, Mike Spilo 3 off the backboard, rebounded by Rizzer, and now Port looks like they're starting to panic a little bit.
I think they are with 4 minutes left. They got to get back in the game. They needed some kind of shot.
Now Moses does come up with a steal, and now we're going to get a foul.
I believe that was on
Haynes. I do believe that's a good foul to take there because it keeps him. And now we should be going to the media timeouts.
Media timeout, Chris. That is a foul on Haynes. I believe it was her 3rd.
Well, they'll take the timeout with them. We'll be right back.
Spring is here, and that means grilling season. Mike's Bilo in Reynoldsville has all your grilling needs covered with chicken, steak, pork chops, and more. You can check out all of Mike's Bilo's weekly specials from the comfort of your home at mikesbilo.com, where you will also find online coupons and recipes. Visit Mike's Bilo on South 5th Street in Reynoldsville today. Mike's Bilo's Foods, your friendly hometown supermarket. Award-winning wings, cold beer, burgers. What else could you want? Just head on over to the Super Sub and 6-Pack in DuBois for the best wings in the DuBois region, as well as the greatest selection of cold beer and much more. Located just off the Beeline on McCracken Run Road. Good food, cold beer, ready to go. Super Sub and 6-Pack in DuBois. Go online at super6pack.com. That's P-A-K at the end. Super Sub and 6-Pack in DuBois.
What's the recipe? What's the recipe for surprising the kids, treating yourself, and ditching dish duty? You're looking at it. Order your Pizza Hut faves like original pan, original stuffed crust, and more at pizzahut.com. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
If he was looking at me, I'd tell him he could go now, but he's not. Waiting for the last. There we go. Horn. My fault, folks. District charges money, so I asked for media timeouts. Although they were only supposed to be 60 seconds. Just now taking a deep three is Nelson. No good. Rebounded by Jacob. And then she has her long pass intercepted by Nelson. And then Rizzer comes in, and Rizzer with the steal, and she gets it ahead to Jesse Frank. Jesse Frank on a breakaway. Jesse Frank lays it up and in. And it is now a 21-point lead for DuBois Central Catholic, 50-29. Three-pointer in the air by Stauffer. She airballed it.
I wasn't quite sure that wasn't tipped, Chris, but they're not giving it back to Port Allegany, so they're saying it was just short.
So Whipple checks back in on a Super Sub and 6-Pack substitution. And now we're going to get a kick ball. So no tip, but a kick. Thank everybody for joining us. Thank Moe's Bar and Grill, Dr. Andrew Young at Port Allegany Chiropractic, Team Bruno and Port Allegany, great sponsors. They were great sponsors during the football season. A lot of great folks up in Port Allegany. Had a chance to spend a couple of football games up there. There's an inbound pass to Jesse Frank.
I tell you what, that was nicely done.
A lot of fun
right
in
there.
Port Allegany. And man, Moe's Bar and Grill, man, I'm telling you, number 1 seed burger in
That's
District
perfect.
9. Now we're going to get a timeout call by Hoover here. It's going to be a full. I think it has to be a full. Oh, they're saying it's a 30. Guess he did it. You have one with a 30 left?
I don't think it's got to be a full.
Well, let's see.
I don't know, Chris.
Well, we're going to step aside here real quick.
Okay.
Hi, Chris Rossetti here from D9 and 10sports.com. I wanted to take a second to tell you about one of the best restaurants in all of Western Pennsylvania, the Allegany Grill in Foxburg, PA. With indoor and outdoor dining, you can enjoy prime rib all weekend long, or perhaps it is their full wings served on Thursday wing nights that you're after. From celebrating a special occasion to hanging out with family and friends, the Allegany Grill in Foxburg is the place to be. As they like to say, you come for the food and you stay for the view. Reserve your table today at AlleganyGrill.com.
They're letting them know now that it was a full timeout.
Yes, it was a full timeout, Chris. Coach Hoover had already used 2 30s, so this was a full timeout. So we're coming back here. I tell you what, let me say this. I love the effort of Rizzer right there. She's diving across the floor to get the ball. But when you're up by 23 points, I don't necessarily dive on the ball,
what's
Chris.
This discussion about, I wonder? Oh, they're discussing where the ball inbounds at? No, I don't know.
It's in the right spot. That's exactly where it should be. I would think.
No idea what that was all about.
Ball inbounded to Jesse Frank.
Gives it off to Berta, now to Whipple. Whipple to Rizzer. Rizzer drives. Whistler kicks it to Frank. Frank kicks it to Haynes. At what point, if you're Jordan Hoover, do you start getting people out of the game, too?
Well, when I see Rizzer hit the floor again,
Frank misses the layup, rebound.
I get him out,
Evans.
Chris. I do. I'm sorry. I get him out. I've known Coach Hoover for a number of years now, and I think that he's going to be getting them out soon, especially when you have Rizzer hitting the floor twice.
And now Frank goes, and now, but instead he's putting Faith Jacob back in. I mean, he doesn't understand it is 23 points with 2:28 to play.
Yeah, he's excited. It's a good first home playoff game.
Yeah, they lost here last year in this round to Ridgeway. Moses going to take the jumper. No good. Rebounded by Faith Jacob. Faith Jacob gets it to Berta. Berta, looking ahead, gets it to Haynes. Haynes will go back to Berta. Berta back to Haynes. Now back to Berta. Finds a wide open Jesse Frank for the layup. That was a wise eyes. Good decision by DCC.
It was, and they just spread Port Allegany out.
Evans, like a bull in a china shop, goes through, and they're going to call the block on Haynes.
They're going to call the block on Haynes, and here we go. Here comes some young players, Chris, off the bench for DCC, for both teams, actually.
So as we have a free throw situation, it's going to be a two-shot free throw situation for Brent Evans. Our head coach, Jamie Evans. Shot is up, shot is good.
Nothing but the bottom of the net on that one, Chris.
So
wholesale substitutions coming.
Julie
Both benches clearing.
Comes in for DCC. Bree Daniels is in. Jen Baxter is in for Port Allegany. Second shot by Evans is up, no good. Rebounded by Alinsky. Also into the game, Willow Sowers, who I hear is the niece of Mike Sowers, former Navy SEAL, real good guy. Had a chance to meet him out in San Diego a couple years ago. Awesome dude, man.
I tell you what, those guys, Chris, unbelievable. I have a very good friend of mine, Bob Yaney, who's a Navy SEAL. Incredible people.
He's retired Navy SEAL, started a thing called Forge. You ever hear of the Murph Challenge?
Yes.
Yeah, he started that.
Oh, did he? Oh, that's amazing.
Really, really good guy, Mike Sowers. Tried to meet up with him in San Diego last summer, but he was out in New York. They did they were doing they've done a museum, a SEAL museum on Long Island, New York that I know he was really well involved with too.
Yeah, those guys are top notch. Takes a very, very special breed of man to become a Navy SEAL.
Down to a minute to play here. DCC is going to be heading to the District 9 semifinals and playing the winner of Otto Eldred, Northern Potter in the semifinals. It's been a while since the Lady Cardinals have been that deep into the District 9 playoffs. Sebring will just hold it after dribbling. Now she'll hit it to Davidson with 37 seconds. Over to Hope Jacob. And really, this game, the foul trouble by Port Allegany, even though they were in the game at halftime, Jess, it was just too much to overcome.
It really was. When you take out, your top scorers on offense, they're on the bench in foul trouble, they can't help you, but you can't take the advantage or take the gamble of keeping them in the game, and then it's just it took Port Allegany right out.
8 seconds to play now. Pulling it back out and holding it there is Sebring, and DuBois Central Catholic has defeated Port Allegany 54-30 to move in to the District 9 Class 1A semifinals next week against the winner of the Port Allegany Northern Potter game. Folks, we're gonna step aside. We'll have an abbreviated post-game show here because, of course, stick with a new stream. We're gonna have the Janie Montgomery Scott in Clarion QR Coach's Chalkboard post-game show with Jess and I coming up in probably 10, 15 minutes tops. But there'll be a new link for that. But we will wrap this game up after these messages.
Moe's Bar and Grill in Port Allegany. One of our customers called our offerings the best gourmet bar food you'll ever have. That pretty much sums us up. Stop in and see us at 68 West Mill Street, Port Allegany, or give us a call at 814-642-7999. That's 814-642-7999. Moe's Bar and Grill. Are you suffering from back pain, headaches, sciatica? Did you know that a healthy nervous system leads to a healthy body? Find out more from Dr. Andrew Young at Port Allegany Chiropractic and Olean Family Chiropractic. A District 9 lifer, born and raised in Clearfield and now calling Port Allegany home, Dr. Young has over 20 years of experience. And Port Allegany Chiropractic and Olean Family Chiropractic have a mission to provide their patients the best results in the shortest time, whatever their health goals are. Find out more at PortAlleganyChiropractic.com and OleanChiropractic.com. Chiropractic care and good health go hand in hand. The Bruno Iafrito Wrestling Camp, the best wrestling camp you've never heard of. The 2023 camp will be the 20th year for the Bruno Iafrito Wrestling Camp, and we'll have a star-studded lineup of clinicians. The camp will once again be held in Port Allegany, Pennsylvania from June 19th through the 23rd, 2023. Check us out online at teambruno.com and like us on Facebook. Hope to see you there at the Bruno Iafrito Wrestling Camp in Port Allegany, PA.
Here to wrap this one up on the Potter County Family Campground post-game show. Potter County Family Campground, camping in God's country, PotterCountyCamping.com.
I tell you what, Chris, I'm looking at Jessie Frank. Boy, did she turn in a huge fourth quarter for the DCC Lady Cardinals. She had 2, 4, 6, 8 points in that quarter. Now, if you look at Lexi Berta, she also had 8 points. So that was a huge quarter for the DCC Lady Cardinals. They had scored 20 points in that fourth quarter to really take control of the game. Lexi Berta hit 2 very, very key 3-pointers, huge to really kind of expand on their lead, really kind of take control of the game. And then it really put Port Allegany in panic mode where they started to take some threes that were probably not the best shot that you want to take, but they needed to take them and try to score to get back in the game. And again, DCC did a wonderful job on the glass. They out-rebounded Port Allegany, and when you're able to own the boards, you're able to own the game, Chris, and it's exactly what happened for DCC tonight.
That'll wrap things up from us here. Again, we will have the Danny Montgomery, Scott, and Clarion QR code post-game show in probably about 10 minutes coming up on all of these channels. Thanks for watching this one. I'll be back here at DCC tomorrow night for the boys game between Keystone and DuBois Central Catholic.